I'm walking by a whole bunch of cafes and shops on the Lower East Side. But when I hit Avenue D, everything changes suddenly. The cafes turn into chicken spots, and the shops turn into laundromats. I've passed housing projects before, but never walked into one. I thought I would encounter a lot of drug addicts, but people were just chilling, just how I would chill on my block. The one thing I knew about public housing before coming down here is that there's a lot of cops, because there's a lot of crime. With 3 police precincts patrolling the housing projects along Avenue D, you see officers all the time. Do you feel safe in this community?
Of course.
Do the police officers make you feel safe?
Not really.
In what way do they not make you feel safe?
I don't know. Sometimes you'll walk down the street and they'll stop you for no reason.
I'm always hearing stories like this from young black guys like James. I mean, how can the police be hassling them that much? The police use stop and frisk to try to protect innocent people from potential perpetrators. When people complain that the cops are stopping and frisking them, I think they should ask themselves, what am I doing to get myself stopped all the time?
I mean, everybody's situation is basically the same thing. You come out the building, if you don't have no ID, or if you can't take them to somewhere where you just came from, you're going to jail. Plain and simple.
So they actually took you to jail because you don't have ID?
Yes.
I ran into Ron Williams, this tall dude in red pajama pants. He told me about a time he got arrested on his way to the store.
I mean, in the end of the day, they looking at it like they making a quota, so it's like as long as you go through the system, the judge is going to just let you go, but it's just too late because you already spent the night in the system. You can't take that back, you know?
Ron was just telling me the story of a regular day. It was just, these are the facts of what happened to me, and I believed him. People aren't just stopped and frisked on the streets. Police also do vertical patrols inside the housing projects, which are floor-by-floor sweeps to curb criminal activity.
My name is Jonathan Smith. I'm a lawyer at the NAACP Legal Defense and Educational Fund.
The Legal Aid Society and the NAACP are suing the police department in the city of New York. The police say that they're just trying to keep public housing safe. But Nancy and John say that these vertical patrols infringe on people's constitutional rights.
2 of our clients, one is an elderly man who was sick, he was bedridden. His nephew got arrested for coming to visit his uncle and bringing him his meals because he didn't happen to be carrying ID that day. They arrested him for trespassing. The police officer never knocked on the uncle's door. Instead, they just arrested him. He spent the night in jail, and his uncle didn't get to eat for a couple days.
Many people believe that the vertical patrols are discriminatory, and numbers don't lie. The rates of trespassing arrests are higher on public housing grounds than in the surrounding communities. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Sure, my name is Antonio Garcia.
He was leaning against the fence outside his NYCHA building. So, how do they treat you when they stop and frisk you?
They treat me like, I guess you would any guilty person. As soon as you walk in, they'll just ask you to stand against the wall, and they won't even explain half the time why they're searching you. After that, they'll just pat you down, pat your pockets, they'll check your sneakers, and then they'll ask you for ID after.
I thought you were innocent until proven guilty in this country. How does that make you feel when they're stopping and frisking you in your own building, where you're supposed to feel safe?
I could care less. It's whatever. I mean, some of them want to keep stuff safe. Some of them just want to be difficult.
I feel like, he should care. But I don't live in public housing, so that's something I don't have to deal with, and he shouldn't have to deal with that either.